Imagine piloting a plane low over burning Australian bush, dropping thousands of liters of water onto a raging fire below. That is now something you can actually do in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The team behind the game just dropped World Update 21, and it is all about Australia. But this is not just a pretty scenery pack. There is a brand new mission baked into this update that puts you in the cockpit of a water-bombing aircraft to honor real-life heroes. We are talking about the New South Wales Rural Fire Service, and their story is honestly jaw-dropping. Today, we are covering everything that came with this update, why this mission matters so much, and what makes the New South Wales Rural Fire Service one of the most remarkable organizations in the entire world. Stay with me because this one is special. So let us talk about what actually arrived with World Update 21 for Australia. First off, the map improvements are significant. The update brings more cities, more airports, and a whopping 36 new points of interest scattered across the continent. That is a lot of new terrain to explore. Australia is one of those places that just looks incredible from the air. You have got the red dust of the outback, the stunning coastlines, the dense forests, and those iconic cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Getting that landscape properly represented in a flight simulator is no small task. The developers have clearly put serious work into making Australia feel alive and accurate in this update. New airports mean new routes, new approaches, and new challenges for pilots of every skill level. And those points of interest give you real reasons to go exploring across the massive continent, rather than just flying between major hubs. But here is where it gets interesting. The standout piece of this update is not a new airport or a prettier skyline. It is a mission, a single focused experience designed to put you in the shoes of the brave men and women who fight bushfires from the sky. And to understand why that mission hits so hard, you need to understand who they are honoring with it. The New South Wales Rural Fire Service is not just a fire department. It is the largest fire service on the entire planet. Let that sink in for a second. The largest fire service in the world. And here is the part that will genuinely blow your mind. It is made up of nearly 70,000 volunteers. These are not paid professionals collecting a salary. These are everyday people, farmers, teachers, shop owners, parents, who choose to run toward danger to protect their communities. 70,000 of them. That is an extraordinary number. And they need every single one of those volunteers because Australia faces some of the most intense and destructive bushfires on Earth. The climate, the vegetation, the geography, all of it combines to create fire conditions that are uniquely brutal. You might remember the Black Summer fires of 2019 and 2020. Those fires burned through more than 18 million hectares. They destroyed thousands of homes and had a devastating impact on wildlife and communities across the country. The Rural Fire Service was at the front line of all of that. Water-bombing aircraft are a critical part of how modern firefighting works. Pilots fly low and slow over active fires, releasing massive loads of water or fire retardant at precise moments. It requires serious skill and nerves of steel. The fact that Microsoft Flight Simulator chose to build a mission around this experience is a genuinely thoughtful tribute. It gives players around the world a taste of what these volunteers face, and it shines a spotlight on an organization that absolutely deserves the recognition. So why are we talking about this on a gaming channel? Because this is exactly the kind of thing that makes simulation games genuinely powerful. Microsoft Flight Simulator has always been about more than just flying from point A to point B. It is about connecting players to the real world. When the developers add a mission like this, they are doing something that goes beyond entertainment. They are creating empathy. They are saying, here is a real challenge that real people face, now you try it. That is a meaningful use of the medium, and it is not the first time Flight Simulator has done something like this. The series has long been used for actual pilot training, for exploring inaccessible places, and for connecting people to parts of the world they may never visit in person. Australia is a perfect fit for that mission. For most players around the world, the Australian outback is a place they have seen in documentaries. Now they can fly over it, see it from the air, and engage with the stories of the people who live and work there. But here is where it gets interesting for the broader gaming conversation. As games become more realistic and more detailed, their ability to tell real human stories grows alongside that. A mission honoring volunteer firefighters in a flight simulator might sound niche, but think about the reach of a game like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Millions of players across the world will now load up Australia, fly that mission, and learn something about the New South Wales Rural Fire Service that they never knew before. That is a pretty remarkable outcome for what started as a scenery update. World Update 21 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is a genuinely great update. New scenery, new airports, new points of interest, and a mission that means something real. The New South Wales Rural Fire Service and their nearly 70,000 volunteers deserve every bit of recognition they get. If you get a chance to jump into this update and fly that water bombing mission, do it. It is a different kind of gaming experience. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss our latest gaming news. Drop a comment below telling us what you think about games honoring real-world heroes like this. We will see you in the next one.